Top 5 Weapons Platform Russia Can't Afford to Buy. Introduction. With Russian GDP estimated to contract by 3.6%, the subsequent impact on Russian defense industries and Russian military. The problem with the Su57, T14 Armata tank, AK-203 assault rifles, Su-35, and Admiral Grigorovich class frigate was that their actual performance numbers weren't close to the hype created by the Russian media. The Russian military-industrial complex has been throwing out exaggerated product performance figures since the 1940s. This is quite the opposite in Western countries, where corporations are held responsible for their product performance numbers. Furthermore, in many cases, Russian budgetary constraints have led to embarrassing technological failures in the post-Soviet era. Let's look at some Russian military projects Russia can't afford and aim at export customers. Su57 Aircraft. Developing a fifth-generation aircraft requires a clean sheet design, in which all subsystems are closely matched to requirements for a very low observable airframe. Currently, neither Russia nor China possesses the technology to make an engine that propels an actual fifth-generation aircraft at high speed, in stealth mode without lighting up enemy infrared search and tracking system. In Russia's case, the Su-57 does not possess any fifth-generation attributes, nor does it have an AESA radar or sensor fusions, but is priced at $100 million apiece. Russia's economy prohibited Russia to acquire a large number of Su-57. It had ordered only 76 Su-76 aircraft and received one Su-57 with an inferior AL-41F engine and PESA radar. Moreover, India's withdrawal from the project gave a financial blow to Russia. T14 Armata. The story of the T14 tank is quite the same. Poor product development, lack of funding and design compromises led to the embarrassment of the tank breaking down during the yearly parade in Moscow and being towed away. The T14 would have proven to be only an incremental improvement over the T90 tanks. The level of performance of the T14 is yet to be demonstrated. The actual production run of 2,300 tanks has now been completely cancelled in favor of recommissioning tanks that had been lined up for the scrap heap. The $8 million T14 wasn't a requirement for the Russian army. It is an expensive, unnecessary luxury that the Kremlin had big eyes for but certainly can't afford anymore. So after the humiliating and costly dead ending, cash-strapped Russia follows Ukraine's lead, and will refurbish and upgrade thousands of Cold War T-72, T-80 and post-Soviet T-90 tanks. Su-35 fighter jets. The third order for 30 Su-35 aircraft finalized in August 2020 is to increase the total number to 128 Su-35, then Russians stopped buying Su-35 aircraft. Sukhoi offered 50 Su-35 worth $1.4 billion, that far too expensive Russian economy. Russia realized Russia could upgrade Su-30SM to the Su-30SM2 standard cheaply for the domestic and export market. The first aircraft of the new modification has already departed from the Irkutsk aviation plant to the place of its deployment, the Russian Ministry of Defense reported. The Su-30SM2 fighter was tested with the AL-41F1S only a few months ago. Also new in the Su-30SM2 is PESA radar. The N011M Barzar is a low-cost derivative of Urbasi radar. AK-203 rifle. The AK-203 is an evolution of AK-47 and AK-74 rifles. Like all other product development, Kalashnikov initially modified the design and used German Steyr August-style material in new AK-203 prototype rifles. Kalashnikov presented prototype AK-203 to the Russian military with a high price tag. Russian army backflipped on AK-203. Kalashnikov later dumped the prototype rifle, modified the AK-47 rifle, and retained the new name as the AK-203, is the latest derivative of AK-47. Still, the Russian army was skeptical of the new AK-203 for its inaccurate shots and ranges. Failing to receive a domestic order, Kalashnikov later offered complete technology transfer to India under a Make in India initiative with the help of Russia. Admiral Grigorovich class frigate. The Admiral Grigorovich class frigate is essentially a thorough modernization of the Krivak IV class frigate, a ship built for and exported to the Indian Navy from 1999 to 2012. Construction of the ships hit a snag when Russia illegally annexed Crimea and war broke out in Ukraine. The ships needed a specific gas turbine engine that came from a Ukrainian company, which, after the annexation and breakout of war, was prevented from selling them. The fire in Admiral Kuznetsov aircraft carrier is an example of Russia's inability to handle maintenance issues. As a result, Russia announced that it would sell 2 of the 3 Grigorovich-class frigates under construction to India, who would be able to buy the engines separately themselves. Conclusion: Russia made the prudent decision of not investing more in the Su57 and T14 programs. Russia is expected to buy about 1 dozen Su57 and perhaps a dozen T14 tanks. In conclusion, it would be safe to say that both of this weaponry failed to live up to their hype. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.